I mean, we have more commonalities than we have differences, but it really seems like people are living in two disparate realities, and the Democrats are using these low information voters to put in these stupid ass policies like let me give you money and give you resources and give you money and give you resources. They think like the fucking money is the fuel for the economy, and money isn't the fuel for the economy. It is the oil that greases the wheel, because the fuel for the economy is us the people working and fueling the system. That's how it works. Without us producing, there is no economy. Money is just a representation of our bartering power. So I make a fence, I sell you a fence for some chickens. That's the bartering power. Money allows me to get that chickens when I can't make a fence, so you can go to somebody that can make a fence because I need chickens and you need a fence. And there's other ways to do that even without money. There's some people experimenting on with community service. So you're a guitarist. You go down to the community center. You need a fence built. They have a constructor that does fences, and he logs some hours that he has to work for the community. So they sent him out to build your fence, and you teach guitar lessons in the local community for kids for free for the next 3 months, and boom, you've paid the community. There's other ways to do it, but it's just a representation to grease the wheel. The bartering, the trade, the resources, our labor, that is what's really valuable. And we need to take our power back, because the government gets their right to consent to government, from their authority from our consent of the government. And when they're no longer destructive to those ends, we have to be ready to do what needs to be done. Now, I don't want violence. I don't want war, but we have to be willing to get violent if they get violent. Like in Oregon, they were bear macing the police and stuff, and the police were arresting them and keeping them out of their state building, because there was a meeting going on about locking them down more, a meeting that they had every right to be into. Like, they shouldn't have had to mace the police to get into a building they had a right to be at. I have a right to assemble. It doesn't say I have a right to assemble unless there's a disease. I have a right to assemble. It doesn't say why. It doesn't say where. It doesn't say how. I have a right to assemble. I have a right to speak. I have a right to bear arms. I have a right to privacy in my person's place of things. I have a right to these things. They're not privileges. They're not granted by the government. I was born with them. They're inherent. They're inalienable in all of us. And I have a right. Your rights to safety ends where my right to assemble begins. My right to safety ends where your right to assemble begins. You can't force things onto me, because when you do that, when you give up essential freedoms for a little bit of liberty, you get neither and you lose both. That's all I'm saying. I hope a lot of you, this firearm sale's gone up. Ammo is hard to get. So I think a lot of you understand where this is coming. I hope you're training your body, your mind with your weapons, because just having a firearm, actually, you're a more danger to somebody than not having a firearm if you don't know how to properly use it. And you should really learn how to properly use these equipments, because you're probably going to need them here shortly. There was a car bomb Christmas, Nashville, Tennessee. Somebody bombed somebody with a Trump sign in Michigan. They did. The fight is escalating, and I don't think there's anything we can do to settle it, because we're living in two desperate realities, and one side wants the Great Reset and take all your wealth so they don't have to live, and they can live in a beautiful utopia that doesn't exist. I don't think there's anywhere we can go here but war, but divide. And it's not going to be like down the Mason-Dixon line or across the southern, the divide isn't going to be that way anymore, because the divide is within places. Like, the states, the people inside states are divided, the people inside cities are divided, the people inside towns are divided. And now there are towns and cities and stuff that are not, but the majority of the divide is not. There's not clear these states against these states, despite 25 standing up for Biden and 25 trying to take them to force swing states to court. That's just their governments. The people inside those states, they are just as divided. The government and the army and our institutions are just as divided, and people are counting heads. The party's about to begin. I'm just saying. So prepare, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.